Hey, good evening. Welcome to Module 7 of our course. And this week, once again, we're taking what we're learning and applying it to things that are very, very important in our society today. And that is the look of science and medicine and how technology interacts with that. And while I am completely burned out over vaccines and COVID and those particular issues, I do find that there is something to be said about how technology is really improving medicine or science. You think about it, you can technically, if you're not feeling well, if you're needing to see a doctor, you can do telehealth these days, which allows you the opportunity to do what we're doing right now through video. Meet with a doctor who can analyze and listen and prescribe a respective treatment for you without you having to go actually into a virtual or into a doctor's office. You can do it virtually. So we're gonna read some articles this week, which I think you'll really enjoy. The Seltzer article, which talks about the exact location of the soul. I'm curious as to your response with that reading. So this week, your assignments, of course, you have the reading questions, and now we move into part 2 of our research project. As you know, you've already completed your initial research proposal, what it is that you're going to be talking about and discussing. But in this situation, you're going to start looking at resources that you will use for your research project. Now, I want to give some very specifics on how you are to complete this. And I'm going to pull up another document if I can, kind of just to show you what I'm talking about. So when you're doing an annotated bibliography, there's two things that go with in an annotated bibliography. First of all, bibliography is a list of works that you're going to use. Annotation is where you are describing that particular resource that you're going to use. So you're going to find the required number of sources for this assignment, and then you're going to create an annotated bibliography. So you need to put the citation, the article source. You need to put that in MLA format. Needs to be 5 to 6 sentence paragraphs, which is approximately 250 words for the annotation. And you're doing an annotation for each citation. So if you got 5 citations, you got 5 annotations. And what an annotation looks like is this. You need to summarize the source, which is basically give me a quick summary of what the article is about. You want to identify the source's credibility. Is it reliable? What makes it reliable? What is it about the publisher or the journal that you're getting it out of that makes it well worth your time, and also is going to be valuable in your research project? And then talk about how the source can be used to satisfy your argument. What is it that, this is credible and this is appropriate because it da-da-da-da-da. Now, your source requirements, you need to make sure that you don't use things like Wikipedia. NC Live is a really good resource. You also have Google Scholar. That's another great resource. And of course, the library can help you as well. So I think you'll be able to find all of your sources online. That will be very helpful, but also that will be scholarly in nature. Now, a good annotation and a bad annotation. Let me show you what a good one looks like and what a bad one looks like. So here's a bad one. Now, a couple things I want you to see as you look at this. First of all, this is the citation. Okay, so this is a correct citation. This is for a book. You can look up online. Purdue OWL will tell you how to do a citation for an article, but this is one for a book. You have the author, then you have the title, and since it's a book, you have the location of the publisher and what year. Now here's the annotation. Bad annotation. Bad annotation, there's a sentence here. Notice, it tells me nothing. It does not really, truly, I mean, first of all, it's missing the minimum requirements of what we're looking for. But second of all, it tells me nothing. There's just nothing good that's here. It's an overview. How do I know it's reliable? How do I know it's credible? What's the summary of it? Details is missing. Here's a good one. So right here, this right here is how you want all of your citations to be. You do them like this, perfect, no issues, right? This is how you're going to follow it. Let's talk about it real quick. So same thing, citations, great, no issues. Now, understand, this book tells me what kind of source it is. Professor of East Asian Studies at Penn State. Why is that important? Because it's a book on Vietnam. He's a professor of East Asian Studies at Penn State, which lets me know that's a pretty good university. And number two, he's a professor of East Asia, which is where Vietnam is. That makes it credible. Now, what does it do? Well, here's the argument. He's going to talk about regional differences, history of Vietnam's fights against external invaders. That's letting me know, is giving me a quick summary. There's geography, society, and economy. Notice up here, just an overview of the history of Vietnam. He gives specifics, details, right here as it relates to what the overview is about. And then notice that he has endnotes at the conclusion of each chapter, which shows it's well documented. It's credible. I mean, he has used a lot of resources to confirm his work. So this is a perfect annotated bibliography source right there. Follow that, you're going to be great. So those are the assignments for this week. This is part 2. Trust me, you want to do well on this one because the sources that you use are going to be influential and for your research project. So don't take this lightly. And don't just find 5 sources and be done with it. Find 5 sources that will really impact your research project. All right. I hope you have a great week. I look forward to reviewing your work. And as always, if I can do anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Take care.